Lisa here from Arcane and Stellar. Welcome to my channel, and I'm glad that you're here today. So in this pick a card reading, which is timeless, you can find out the answer to your question. So if you have a question that requires a yes or a no, this is your reading. And you can, of course, choose more than one pile for more than one question. You know, like say you are asking, will I get a new job? And you choose this one. Or, you know, will they ask me out? And you choose that one. We're going to get answers, yeses or nos. So it's very appropriate for those types of questions. I have 6 groups today for you. So we have group number 1, group number 2, group number 3, group number 4, group number 5, group number 6. Now, my grandmother recently asked me how to work these cards, how to work these readings. She was like, I don't understand how to work your channel. And so I explained it to her. So just in case anyone's new, by chance, you know, I hadn't considered that. But if you are new, the point of the reading is to ask the question, find the pile, and then you can find the timestamps where you'll find the actual message for each group. So if you pick group number 4 as an example, you'll go down to the comments or the description box and look for pile 4, and then there's going to be a link there with the timestamp, and you'll go ahead and listen to your reading. Okay, so hopefully that makes it very clear for people on how to use these readings. But I encourage you to tune in with your intuition, your gut feeling, whatever you're feeling drawn to when you think of that special question, and to follow that, you know, inside of yourself, that light or that feeling that you have. So with that being said, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I hope that this reading is helpful. I hope it's insightful, and I wish you all a lot of blessings and lots of love and light. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in your reading. Hello! If you chose group number 1 here with this beautiful pendulum that Darlene got me for my birthday. Thank you, Darlene. That was very sweet of you. And I always say thank you. I love to use this one. It's beautiful. I just love it. So thank you, Darlene. And let's see, what is the answer to your question? Is it a yes or is it a no? So we have communicate clearly, and we have the 8 of Pentacles. Here we have, I'm inclined to say that we are leaning more towards a yes. I feel like whatever you're asking about, there may need to be a little bit more communication in regards to whatever this is. I feel like you're on the right track with whatever you're doing. So whatever you've been kind of putting your effort into, I feel like the results are very close to you. It might be about speaking up for yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, as an example, say you want a promotion and you're wondering if you're fitted, and you're like, will I get that promotion? It would be the type of thing where you're ready for it, just ask. You know what I'm saying? So again, even if you kind of drag that context over into relationship as an example, make sure, like, will they forgive me? Yes, just ask. Talk to them. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of, like, your yes has a lot to do with how you communicate and how you bring yourself forward towards this problem or this whatever you're kind of asking about. So that's something that's really important to know. A lot of it has to do with your communication. And I think with proper communication that's clear and, you know, direct, you're going to find a yes answer. So that is what I'm feeling for those of you that chose group number 1. It's a yes, but, again, communicate clearly. Now, I'm going to get some advice for you. So any advice for group number 1 in regards to their question? Smoky quartz, let it go. And garnet, ignite your passion. Okay, so we have smoky quartz and garnet. You might find these stones are helpful to you at this time. But with, like, let it go. Smoky quartz is great for cleansing and kind of releasing. So this might be about releasing anxieties. Usually when we're not communicating something, it's because we have some sort of anxiety when it comes to it. So whether it's like, as an example, some of you might be asking, will my YouTube channel be successful? Let go any fear and things that hold you back. Ignite your passion. You need to follow and speak what you're doing or what you want into existence. You need to communicate it. You need to share that passion and let go of any insecurities that kind of hold you back from pursuing whatever this is that you're asking about. I feel like this is a time to kind of act upon your passion. And you know, when people are passionate, they talk a lot about something, right? Have you ever had that where you're, like, obsessed about you know, it's like me with astrology. I'll just talk like blah, 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 transit, this transit, that transit, blah, blah, you know, and I talk about it. And it's like that with anything. It's like speak up, essentially. And I think you have a yes. Let go of any sort of drawbacks that you have about yourself or your fear of communicating. And I think you'll find that this answer is a yes for you, okay? So, very short and sweet reading, I guess. I like that it's a yes. And I really hope that this reading helps give you some insight. It helps you in your direction, in your life path. And I wish you all the very, very best. Of course, you know, if you have other further questions, you can go back to the beginning and choose another pile. Personal readings are done through Etsy, down in the description box. No WhatsApp readings, okay? And I wish you all the very, very best. Lots of blessings and love to you. Take care. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 2 here with this Aura Rose Quartz, this is your reading. So let's find out, is the answer to your question a yes or is it a no? Let's find out. So we have romance and we have the star. Very, very beautiful answer. So for those of you that are asking about romance, love, does he like me? Does she like me? Will we be together? Is there hope for the situation? Etc., etc. This is a yes. Okay, so this is really positive towards relationship, especially. But beyond relationships, romance in particular shows two people facing each other. And to me, it reminds me of the lovers in the context of an alignment. So I do feel like whatever you're asking about, even if it's not a romantic situation, you are vibrationally aligned to whatever this is. Okay, so if it's a job, as an example, or a city, you're like asking, should I move to Seattle? Should I move to London? Yes, you know, there's hope there. There's healing there. There are things to be found there. It's a good match for you, right? And the same, like, should I work at, you know, Boeing, or should I work at, you know, Microsoft, whatever. Again, yes. And if you want to know you'll get a job, yes, you'll probably be chosen because you're a good vibrational match. Okay, so whatever this indicates, it's a yes, unless I'm going to point one thing out here. Now, if you are asking about whether you should give up on a situation, I do feel like for those of you that are asking that sort of question, it is no. Okay, I feel like if you're asking whether you should give up on a person, a job, or a situation, I do feel like the answer here is that there's still something to be found in whatever you're asking about. Leaving, as an example, or giving up on. Okay, I feel like that there's still a path forward, and there still can be some sort of hope or joy found in this situation. There can still be healing found in this situation. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some advice for those of you that chose group number 2. So what kind of advice can we get, Spirit Guides, for group number 2? Oh, we have Red Jasper, take action. And we have Tiger's Eye, overcome your fears. Ooh, interesting. So the one thing about the star that can be quite interesting is it's a period of pause. It's a period of healing. Oftentimes, it can indicate that something has previously been difficult, right? Because the Tower comes before the star. So the Tower can talk about a breakdown or a complete destruction. So it could be like that mega fight that you have with someone, or when you just feel like all hope is lost and everything's just, you know, so totally screwed up. And here with the star, of course, it's that indicative, of, you know, healing and rebuilding in a way. And often the star, she's depicted with no clothing, and it kind of shows that you've lost everything, that you're totally vulnerable. And here, that, you know, in that context here, with the advice we're getting here, with take action, overcome your fears, don't let your vulnerability or your fear of vulnerability hold you back in this situation, is one thing I'm picking up for some of you. The other thing is that one thing that can happen with the star is we stay in that safe place for a long time where we hope. And sometimes we can like say, oh, one day I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or it's going to be next year, or in 5 months, or when I get this, or when I get that. For those of you that find yourself in that situation, your spirit guides are really saying, hey, get it done. Start doing it. It's your thing. You know what I mean? It's yours. And you just need to start taking action to it. You need to get over your fears when it comes to whatever this is. You need to, go for it. And that would be what I would say to you via your spirit guides, is that you're being told to take action, especially if you want that outcome. Okay? So that is what I've got for those of you that chose group number 2. I hope that this reading brought you some insight and some answers. I hope that it was helpful. If you chose group number 2, let me know. I'd love it if you guys told me what question you asked group number 2, like what you are asking, because I wonder if it fits your context. But again, like I said, this can be taken many different ways. It's not only with romance, only a romantic situation, you know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I wish you all lots of love and light, lots of blessings. Take care, and thank you all so much for all of your support. And I hope to see you all in the next reading. Take care. Hello, group number 3. So you've chosen this owl earring. Such a beautiful little earring. Now, I kind of intuitively picked these objects, right? I just place them as I feel. And one thing I could say is I feel like a lot of you already have wisdom on this situation, or wisdom will be coming in soon, okay? That's one thing I'm really picking up intuitively. So let us see what the answer is. We have a look for a sign, and we have the 2 of Swords. So, that's an interesting little message there with the owl. The 2 of Swords, to me, indicates that there is something here, especially with look for a sign. There's something that you're ignoring in yourself. You already know the answer to this question on a deep internal level, is one thing I want to say. Like, you're already very intuitive yourself, and you might be, sometimes what happens, and it hits me, by the way, as well, and I think it hits like every other tarot reader, psychic person I've ever talked to, has felt this as well. It's hard to read for ourselves. It's hard sometimes to decipher our own signs. It's easy when we are emotionally detached from a situation to kind of look at it with a clear head. But when it comes to ourselves, it can be hard. We have a lot of anxieties, fears, and other such things that can kind of get in the way of us accessing that intuition or clearly seeing what it means. And I feel like some of you might be going through such a situation where you're not really seeing it too clearly or something, but you actually know the answer. And I do feel like the answer here, and this is just what I'm going to tell you, I feel like it's a no for now, but I feel like you are about to get some sort of wisdom on this situation, and there may even be redirection. Okay, I feel like you're paused at this time because not all information is known. So what I mean by this is, if you're asking about a job and you're wondering if you'll get it, I feel like that there are things that are yet to be revealed in regards to work, and you won't actually want the thing that you're asking about, or that something will pivot in your life to where you won't need that, or you won't want that thing. So as well with a person, as an example, if you're asking about like maybe a romantic relationship, it might be that you're not seeing everything quite clearly at the moment about this person, and there might be things yet to be revealed that will kind of shift your belief system about this, or your thoughts, essentially, and help you make a better decision. I do feel like a lot of you, there's some sort of decision attached to this a little bit, and there will be something that is revealed quite soon in regards to the situation. So hopefully that is a clear answer. I feel like this is, out of the cards so far, this one's a little bit on the vague side, but like, I definitely do feel like something's going to shift, or some sort of knowledge will come in that will change the way that you're thinking about this situation or whatever you're asking about. What is the advice for group number 2? Release your emotional baggage. And remember your worth. Rhodochrosite and aragonite. So, this is interesting. So the aragonite says release your emotional baggage. Well, one thing that you might have in this situation, again, I kind of mentioned that intuitively. I was picking up that some of you might be kind of a mess intuitively right now with this situation. Not to say that you don't have intuition in other situations, but it might be that you are a little bit foggy in this section of your life, like because you might have a lot of emotional ties to the situation. Okay, and with that Two of Swords especially, that can be about kind of shutting out the outside and really getting in tune with what you really feel, and not just a bunch of noise. And that's a problem, that we get a lot of noise sometimes with certain things in in our lives. We hear other people's bullshit, we hear what they say, we see what TV says, we hear on the radio this neat thing, and we get a lot of info from the outside. And the Two of Swords is really about getting in tune with yourself and making that decision. Again, I feel like a lot of you have a lot of wisdom about how to handle this, whatever you're asking about. You have a lot of knowledge about it internally, but just get out of that noise that's around you, and you're going to find a way to either fix the situation, or again, there might be some kind of information that's revealed that will help you to release a little bit, or find a way around this in some way. Or like maybe, again, like for some of you specifically, this might be like it's a no, but there's something else that's better, and that's why it's a no, right? We have that remember your worth as well. So any sort of fears regarding this, I really feel like your spirit guides are coming through to tell you, like, don't allow your fear of past experiences, or maybe what you've been taught about life, to kind of dictate your thoughts and your feelings about the situation. Again, it might be clouding your intuition a little bit, because you might be like, every situation in our life is new, and of course we need to take a certain amount of logic with us as we kind of encounter new situations. Like, we might see red flags as an example, and we'll start to think back, okay, well, I experienced that before, so I should be careful, right? But sometimes it's a little bit overboard, and I think that in this situation you need to kind of listen to yourself a little bit more, but not the negative necessarily. Like, it needs to be balanced, the emotional and the mental, because that Two of Swords really talks to me about that. She has the moon there, showing her intuition, but she also has that blindfold on, not to get the outside noise, and to make a clear decision from the inside of her without any outside influence. So it seems like, is it a yes or a no? I feel like it's a no for now, but again, there might be certain changes that come in this situation that will change your perspective or help you make a different decision. And for some of you, it's a no because there will be something more revealed to you, and you would have changed your mind or wanted something different. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me give just one example for this particular question. Once I was manifesting a trip to the sea, okay? And I put it on my solar return. It was quite a few years back now. And I said, I want to go to the sea. That's one of my goals for my solar return. It's my wish. I'm manifesting this. Well, I ended up going to Italy just a month later unexpectedly. And I wasn't too far from the seaside. And I didn't go. I wasn't able to kind of get to the seaside. I was too busy. And I didn't have enough time, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, shoot. Well, it didn't come true this time. I don't know how it's going to come true, because there was my trip, and I didn't go. And then suddenly, a few months later in August, and my birthday's in April, and then I went on in May to the Italy. In August, I get this unexpected trip, to the Middle East, and I was on this, and I literally got invited to a hotel, blah, 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 on the sea, literally. It was all paid for. I was invited to a wedding, etc., etc. And it all came out of nowhere. Never would have predicted it, right? And that can be sometimes how, you know what I mean? Like, you might be asking, will I go to that place? Will I do that thing? Well, actually, there might be something better just around the corner that's being manifested for you. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of the answer to your question. I would say probably it's a no. And but again, there might be a way around this that you'll be, you know, it'll be revealed to you, or and keep looking for that information. But again, for some of you, it will be a no because you actually have something a bit better that's going to be given to you through spirit. So there we go. That's your answer. Hopefully that was clear enough. I felt like this one was a little bit complicated. I talked quite a bit, didn't I? But hopefully it helped you understand what I'm trying to convey to you, and what I feel like Spirit's trying to convey to you about this. And I just wish you all the very, very best. I hope that this brought insight and blessing to your life, and I just wish you all lots of love and light. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. If you chose group number 4 with this butterfly, this is your reading. So, what is the answer to your question? Is it a yes or is it a no? Let us find out. So we have no. Uh-oh. And we have a Queen of Wands. Okay, so, well, this is quite straightforward, isn't it? It looks like it's a no. And the Queen of Wands, of course, might tell me that it's a no because it won't actually ignite your passion. It won't actually make you excited. It might not be something that you need to be doing. Again, I feel like when we get no's, I mean, okay, here. I'm going to might ask a little bit more context to this no. I'm going to ask for you guys a little bit more. Because I feel like the Queen of Wands could indicate a few things. So let me just see what is coming through. Why is it a no for group number 4? Okay. Yeah, it seems like this is a situation in which it's ending. The Death card, the Nine of Wands, this might be something that you don't need to pursue anymore. In fact, some of you might know already that there are boundaries to the situation. You might be asking about something you know is hopeless, or you know is going nowhere. This might be like the person who blew you off a year ago, and you're wondering if they'll ever come back into your life, and you're like, you know, still kind of wondering whether that'll ever happen. And I feel like Spirit's saying, like, don't hold on to this situation, move on to the next phase. Okay, I feel like some of you are really asking about something that you're holding on to, and it's like maybe there's still passion, there's still desire there, there's still a need to win or get what you want, and this needs to be let go of. I know some of you might not like that answer. Hopefully it makes sense to the context of your question, but I feel like whatever you're asking about, it is simply, it's not going to happen, or it's just not meant for you at this time. And I do feel like there is this vibe of holding on, and it's hard when we want something very badly and we're not getting it, and we can sometimes stubbornly hold on and try to make things work, or, you know, make it, hope it's going to come to us in some way. But I feel like this is a no. And I mean, of course, if you feel like that's impossible, check with your intuition. Maybe you chose the wrong group, right? I always tell people, or well, I often try to reiterate the fact that pick-a cards are based on our own intuition. Your intuition, not mine. I mean, it helps for me, you know, to read the cards to have intuition, but when it comes to actually picking a pile, that's your job, not mine, right? I don't tell you which one to pick. And so if you're feeling like a message is really not aligning with you and you're like, what the hell? I think a cleanse, maybe a chakra cleanse, or, you know, going back and seeing, like, maybe if you overthought it. A lot of times people have a gut feeling that they ignore, and then they go with the second one. You know, it's kind of like when you're doing a test. How many times have you done a test and you're like, this is the answer, and then you're like, no, and then you overthink it and you F it up, right? Intuition can be kind of similar sometimes. So just make sure, you know, I'm always going to point that out when we have a negative answer, that if you feel like this is impossible or it doesn't fit for you, you know, make sure that you are using your intuition correctly with the pick a card. So any advice here for group number 4 when it comes to whatever they're asking about? We have get crystal clear and be kind to yourself. So for some of you, whatever you're kind of holding on to might be something in which you're almost torturing yourself. It might be that you're holding on to something and you know it's hurting you, and you know you need to let go of it. And this might be Spirit saying, hey, you know this isn't good, right? And that it's not healthy for you, or you know it needs to be let go of, that you need to move on to something better, because you just keep hurting yourself over and over, or you keep kind of doing that thing. Again, that might be the message there. With Get Crystal Clear, of course, you know, there's always a chance that if you're not going to get this thing, if you're not direct and clear. And for those of you especially that are like maybe asking about a person, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've had people come to me that they're like, they block somebody and they wonder if they'll contact them. And I'm like, well, that don't make sense. Of course, I mean, someone could make an extra account, like try to, I guess, do it, but, you know, and maybe the right person will jump through hoops and loops, but, you know, sometimes we do have to open up the communication or open up the pathway. So if it is a situation in which you are not being confident, you are not, you know, pursuing it, you're not being clear with it, then of course it's a no, right? It won't come. So it's like an example, well, I find a job and you're not applying to jobs. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come to me and they're like, well, I get a job. And I'm like, well, are you applying for jobs? Well, no. And I'm like, well, what do you think? And like, you're just going to get one out of the sky? Like, or what? Like, I mean, of course it can happen, but I mean, you know, it's going to help when we take action, when we make ourselves clear. So if there is any way, for those of you specifically that know that you're not being crystal clear in a situation, you know you're not being upfront, you know that, you know, maybe you're not doing enough, then of course maybe you need to do that in order to change the result, right? But I think that for the majority of you, this is a no, and most likely you probably are already aware of it, and you know that it needs to be kind of like maybe you're holding on to it for too long, as an example. So I hope that this reading was insightful. I hope it was helpful. I'm sorry that it was a no, and I'm sorry like if it hurt your feelings or anything like that. I hate sometimes, I don't like to sugarcoat, because I feel like it's not nice to people in the long run. You know what I'm saying? But it sucks to tell somebody that at the time. But that's kind of what I'm feeling here. And again, like, take it as it resonates. You know, if you know that you haven't been crystal clear, again, maybe there needs to be more confidence and direction in order to change this question into a yes, like, or this answer, I guess. And but otherwise, for some of you, if you really have been holding on to something for a real long time, and you know maybe your passions are better suited elsewhere, because it's a kind of a situation without any positive ending or, you know, hope here. Okay, so my stomach is growling as per usual. Lots of love to you guys, and I wish you all the very, very best. Take care of yourselves, and I'll hopefully get to see you again in another reading. Bye bye. Hey friends, if you chose group number 5 here with this little thingy thing, this is where my sister's belongings after she passed away, and I was actually, you know, something I grabbed or whatever. I don't know where she got it actually. But yeah, there's a moon and a heart and this little triangle in the picture. So I'm not sure what that's from, but it almost reminds me of a book vibe there or something, but I can't quite tell. If anyone knows what it means, tell me. But yeah, we have a gemstone heart there. That almost looks like lapis lazuli a little bit, but I'm not sure. Anyway, this is your reading, and is the answer to your question a yes or a no? We have a year from now, as well as the King of Wands. I feel like you guys are on track for a yes, okay? So some of you might be asking about business proposals or ideas, careers, passions, things that you're going after, and you're wondering if these things will come into fruition or if you're going to get what you want, okay? Now, especially for those of you asking that kind of question, it does seem like with dedication, with work, with effort, you will get it in a year from now, okay? So it's most likely going to come not right away. It might be something that you kind of have to grow toward or work toward, but I think that you will find these changes in a year or so, okay? I think a year from now also implies that you'll just get it. You're going to get it. It just might not be tomorrow or next week, okay? So even if it's not literally a year from now for some of you, because I mean, come on, it's a general reading, I think it just kind of implies that it's on the horizon, perhaps just not right in front of you. Okay, so I could still say to you guys that I feel like some of you might see this manifest in 6 months, 8 months, 4 months even. I wouldn't only say an exact year, right? But I think within this year or so, you should see some sort of result, but not anything in the next month or like sooner. Okay? So that's kind of how I'm feeling about this. I think it's a yes, whatever you're asking. Whether it's a person, like will you meet them? Yeah, probably within the next year, not next week, but in the near future, within this year, I would say. Will you get the job? Probably, in the future. Essentially, that's the answer we're getting. So it's quite straightforward, and I think you will get it. It's just not exactly tomorrow, okay, essentially. Now, any advice here for group number 5? When it comes to the yes or no question, any advice? So 9 of Cups and 2 of Cups, and then I'm going to take a few of the crystal inspiration cards. Any advice here for group number 5? Get back into balance and get out of your own way. So we have agate and tourmalinated quartz. Oh gosh, okay. So the 9 of Cups and the 2 of Cups. Well, I can tell for some of you, if you are dreaming about the situation and not doing and not connecting, you will have a harder time or more delays when it comes to getting what you want, okay? So this also could talk about the fact that if you're like it's a yes, but it's like whenever you do it, essentially, as well, might come down to it, okay? So you might need to kind of take action towards something. Again, this could be dreaming instead of doing. So if you're dreaming instead of doing, then we need to take that energy into doing more than dreaming, or acting upon your dreams or discussing it. We do have that 2 of Cups, which could talk about maybe a connection being important. And with the King of Wands too, there might be, some of you might be asking about something that involves another person. And maybe this is about, well, see, what's interesting, we have that get back into balance, and then we have the 2 of Cups, which reminds me a lot of balance. They're very connected and energetically balanced. So this might be about repairing relationships. I feel like if some of you are wondering whether you can, if someone will forgive you, or if they'll come back, or any type of question in regards to relationship, I think there's a good chance of it. Again, maybe for some of you, you need to kind of take some sort of action here with that tourmalinated quartz. It says get out of your own way, so and make sure you're not getting in your own way in this situation, through an activity as an example, or giving up or anything like that. So, but I would say that you are in alignment with whatever you're asking about, and I think that it can come to a yes conclusion. I feel like, again, that year from now can talk about the fact that it depends on when you act upon it. And also, the quicker you act, the quicker you'll get the result. But again, like I said, a year from now, I don't feel like it literally means that you'll get what you want in a year from now. I feel like it means that it's just not tomorrow and not next week, not in 2 weeks. It's more like something that's a little bit distant from you, but it is coming, or it is a yes in some way. And again, like, it may also be that you need to connect with other people. So if it were like about a job as an example, this might be about making contacts or contacting people in particular, or coming across that right person that's going to hire you as an example. In terms of relationship, this might be about connecting to your lover or your person, your crush, whoever, and making things happen, getting it balanced as an example, and coming to a similar conclusion as well. But hopefully this was an answer that helped you. If you felt like, I told this to the previous group, if you feel like it doesn't resonate, always check in with your intuition. Make sure you're choosing the right piles for your, and you're going with your gut instinct or, your intuition, most of all, because it is really up to the reader. I mean, to read the cards, right? But it's up to the viewer to really pick the one that's going to resonate with them or is going to give them the answer. So it does work off both of us. And so just in case, I just want to mention that with this one. in case you feel like it's not resonating or something like that. Then you might find that you'll find a better answer or a more clear answer in another group. But I'm wishing you all the very, very best. Take care of yourselves. Sending you lots of love. Hopefully this was insightful. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. But yeah, wish to see you all in future readings. Take care. Lots of love. Bye-bye. Hello, my friends. So if you chose group number 6 here with this little bell, this is your reading. So I do feel, if some of you are asking whether someone will message you or contact you, I think it is a yes, okay? The bell alone tells me of calling or messages or communication or announcements, okay? So I am feeling like it's a yes to anything like that involves that sort of thing, okay? Like, you know, okay. We have within the next few months, and we have Ace of Cups. So this is a yes. Yes. I get to give a yes. Yes. Yeah, so you have a yes, and with the Ace of Cups, this could be something that's very heartwarming, something that really fills you up, that makes you feel good. This is an absolute yes, whatever you're asking, okay? So within the next few months, you should expect this to kind of come your way, okay? So it could be anywhere from tomorrow to, you know, the next few months, okay? So it could be any time in that time frame, but I do feel like whatever you're asking about, it will come. So you get some sort of offer, as an example. You could be getting asked out by somebody. Somebody might open up. You might get your first I love you. There are so many ways in which this could play out, but it is quite positive. If you want to know, will I get forgiveness in this situation? Yes. Will this person say sorry? Yes. You know, we have so many ways in which this could be a yes. And it does feel like whatever it is, like I said, it's heartfelt, it's connecting to you, and it's emotionally satisfying to you. So I feel like whatever you're asking about, even if it were a no, it would be that you're very emotionally satisfied with the outcome. Okay? That's what I really, really feel here for you guys that chose group number 6. I do feel like for a lot of you, it's some sort of offer or opportunity or calling, something like that. Even if some of you are asking about, will I find my purpose? Or what, you know, in my life, or will I align with my purpose? And it's like, yes, in the next few months you shall align with it. And it will be kind of on offer to you. Any advice here for group number 6? Any advice here, Spirit Guides, for group number 6? Oh, geez Louise. Hold on, I gotta try to get these to me. Oh, shoot. I'm knocking everything over, guys. I just knocked my bottle of water over. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, so we have Amethyst and Pink Opal. So Amethyst says, trust your intuition. So some of you might need to follow your intuition when it comes to this question. So that might be something that is important in what you're doing. So acting upon your intuition might align you better with this. So that could be, you know, trusting yourself when you want to reach out, or trusting yourself when you want to do something, trusting that intuition that it will guide you to the right puzzle pieces of this question, right? So it's like, if you're saying like, will I find a job, or will I get a job offer? And it could be about, make sure that you're trusting your intuition and applying for the right things. Like you feel called to go somewhere, go there. You know, kind of follow that gut intuition always, because we never know how much little movements can actually affect our greater outcome. We might run into the right person, or we might say the right thing at the right time. If you're feeling like, you know, you want to connect with somebody, as an example, this might be about opening up at the right moments. When you feel called to say something, you say it in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So this is a lot about your intuition guiding you. And with the Pink Opal, we have be kind to yourself. So this is about perhaps telling you to be hopeful, to be kind to yourself in this situation, not to overthink or punish yourself, or think punishing thoughts or damaging thoughts when it comes to this situation. Just believe that you can get what you want. Of course, these gemstones could be quite important to you at this time. They might be helpful to you at this time. And that is really what I'm seeing for those of you that chose group number 6. So very positive, short reading. I know it's shorter than some of the other ones, but it's just so straightforward. I think that you're going to get what you want, essentially, and it is going to happen within the next few months. And I think it's just as clear cut as that. It is what it is. You're getting it. So with that being said, I wish you all the very, very best. I hope that this reading found you blessed. I hope that it brought you insight into your question, and I just wish you all the very, very best. Let me know in the comments below how you like the reading, and I do hope that you tune in for future readings by subscribing and coming back. So wishing you the very, very best. Take care. See you all next time. Bye-bye.